Welcome to the Crafty Mini, and in this episode we're going to do a bit of a product review. So this is Biostrip 20. Seen a lot of stuff online about this, and it's really good for stripping miniatures when you need to go back to the start. You've done a paint job you're not happy with or whatnot. So I thought I'd give it a go. It's not too expensive either, to be honest. I managed to get this on sale. It was £10 for the pot, which seems like a lot, but then you're not going to use much each time you use it. And I've got a couple of miniatures that we're going to strip. So this first one is this giant. Now I decided to do like a red skin. Originally it was going to be an ice giant, and then I thought, no, we'll do flames. Really didn't like the paint job. So this has had, as you can see, quite a liberal coat all over. And then what we're going to do is throughout the video, I'm going to cover another miniature, show you the process of cleaning them up and how good the actual product is, and go from there. So this is if you remember this from the October Nightmare, this is the little Caldor, the Cruel miniature I did. Now I bought a bigger version because I wanted to do something a bit different, and I decided to go for this sort of Joker theme, this purple and green. Haven't really enjoyed it, and I don't think it worked particularly well. So I want to strip that as well as the Frost Giant that I've got here. And I'm going to show you how we actually apply the Biostrip and how it actually works. Okay, so you can see here, so it's slightly discoloured. It's actually white when you get it, but this is because I've already used a little bit on a yellow miniature as a practice run, because I want to see how it worked on metal and plastic miniatures. Both absolutely fine. These are 3D printed resin miniatures. We're going to see how it works on these, because I'm wondering if with the actual the chemicals or whatever's in this Biostrip affects different materials, and will it affect the glues and things. So with this one, so I've painted the giant a little bit thinner. This one I'm going to go a bit more liberal with the painting, so it's going to go all over the miniature, and we'll go from there. We'll leave them for the allotted time, so it says on the tub 20 to 30 minutes, and then scrub it off with warm water and a brush. So I've used an old toothbrush in this, which you'll see later on. Now, a couple of things on the actual product itself, because I've tried stuff in the past, Dettol, isopropyl alcohol, various chemicals, paint strippers, and they absolutely honk, and it's you're breathing in that stuff, and it's not good for you. Now there's no smell. Unless you put your nose right in it, there really isn't any smell to it. It's from what I understand, it's better for the environment as well. It's water based, which is quite good. So there's there's obviously chemicals in it, but nothing nefarious and smelly, toxic, non-toxic, and all this sort of stuff. So it says on the actual tub, so it's a water-based paint and varnish removal system, and doesn't give you any more details. I'm sure if you look up online, you'll be able to find more stuff. But yeah, so apply generously to painted areas, allow it to blister 30 to 60 minutes, and then remove the softened paint by either rinsing or scraping. Should any paint remain, repeat the process and wash down and allow it to dry thoroughly. And yeah, so you get a load in this tub. It's a 500ml tub. This is going to last me a while. But right, so we've jumped ahead now in the video. Left that to these models had about 30 minutes in total, and now we're going to go to the cleaning. So in this tub, I've got an old toothbrush and some warm water, and I'm just going to go ahead now and start scrubbing and see if it works. And I was pleasantly surprised how quick the paint came off. And then because these are test miniatures, I've done different types. So I've scrubbed gently. You'll see in the video, like, I'll go really furiously at one, just see it, because I want to see if it's actually going to affect the resin itself. And you can see here, it's just the paint is just coming off. It's going straight down to that sort of bluey grey resin that initially came. Now, one thing I noticed as I'm scrubbing this off is it's quite thick and gooey. So you do need to make sure the water's warm. Now, it's probably better with running water. So one thing I'd say is make sure you block your plug, because if anything does break off, which you'll see on the other miniature, you don't want to get that washed away. But yeah, it comes off really, really well, really easy. Considering this has the thinner of the two coats, this was not a chore at all to do. This, nothing. No effort was put into this, and I'm just, as you can see, I'm just scrubbing, and it's coming off with ease. Weirdly as well, you can actually see where it meets the other layers of paint sometimes. So on this has been painted 3 or 4 times, just because I wanted to get a full effect of the Biostrip. And yeah, comes off really easy. So in clumps at first, and then in streaks, and you have to keep brushing. doesn't, I can't see any sort of warping or marking on the resin anywhere. Same as with the 2 test pieces I did with the metal and the plastic miniatures, I couldn't see any issues. The only thing I will say with the plastic minis was it seemed to affect the glue, so I had to re-glue some of the pieces together, but that's not an issue, I don't mind that at all. But yeah, this stuff just flows off the actual miniature. So one thing I'd recommend is make sure you use a stiff brush, because you need to get into all those little areas. You can go in with a blade later on if you want to scrape out if the brush hasn't quite done it. And there's obviously some hard to reach areas, like where the axe is next to his leg, couldn't get the brush in there, so I just used a smaller brush later on and we went through. But yeah, it's good stuff. I love this product, and it's something I'm going to keep now and highly recommend to everyone. Right, so with this one, I'm just going to show you the finished result. Now, I scrubbed this really vigorously. Now, his sword did snap off. That's my error, not the actual product, because resin can be quite brittle, and you can see the ankle broke, which is nothing a bit of glue can't fix. And on here, you can see where this had several coats, and it was really clumped up, but the detail has come back. There's hardly anything missing. Now, one thing I noticed is when you are scrubbing, if the water starts to go cold, if you're doing it in a tub like this, then the paint almost clumps together like a glue. So you need to have the warm water to rinse it through thoroughly, and then you've got to make sure it fully dries. So I left mine in the room for a couple of days, haven't touched them, and now they're ready to paint. You can still go through, and if you need a second process, like a second bit of strip on key areas, do it, because this stuff does work really, really well. And you can see here I'm just going in with a stiffer brush, smaller brush now, just into some of the smaller areas. And I say the breakage is completely human error. That's my fault. I was a bit too vigorous with it, and I wasn't supporting the miniature as I was brushing away. But you can see again, this has gone down pretty much to that blue sort of grey resin colour that it was printed in. And looking at them now, and we'll show some final shots later on. Yeah, there's some tiny bits of paint in the deepest recesses, but I'm amazed at how well that has cleaned. There's some bits where I've not quite cleared it off properly myself, so I just need to go with a bit of a blade and just scrape them out. But again, that's human error. But I've again trying this on smaller and now this larger scale miniatures. This is brilliant. Like the detail's crisp. It hasn't broken anything. It hasn't changed the structure of the print or anything's missing. There's just the areas that I've broken myself. So a couple of the baubles and that sword on his belt at the back, which again that's my fault because I was too vigorous and I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to get it done. But yeah, this is cracking stuff. And if you need to, like I always say with the painting the miniatures, you have fun with it. If you make a mistake, you can always just strip them. And for me, this is the way to go now. This is what you should be using. This is brilliant. And I say I've tried it on metal, on normal plastic, and now 3D printed resin. And yeah, it feels good. The resin still feels strong. It doesn't feel brittle or like it's going to bend. Just the usual stuff that you get with a 3D print. Any sort of the finer areas, you've just got to be careful. But yeah, this looks amazing and ready to paint again. So I'm just going to chuck up some pictures now of the finished product. So you can see on the one, there's little bits of areas of the red, just needs a second application. On the Jester figure, again, apart from the breakages, which is my fault, it's come out absolutely brilliantly. It had a much thicker coat than the other miniature, and definitely has come out better. So I would recommend putting a thicker coat on. You can see some of the close-ups. It's only in the very deepest recesses there's a little bit of paint left, but nothing major. And yeah, highly recommend this. If you can afford it, go out and buy it. This is something you're going to use and get a lot of use out of. Now I can't see anything like there's like a use by date on the product, so from what I understand, it's just you keep it until it's gone. And yeah, I've seen and have a look at reviews online, see what other people have said about it. It seems pretty much unanimously positive. I've not seen anything like really negative. You can dunk the miniature straight in if you want, put it on really thick. I've just painted it on with an old brush and then rinsed it off there. As you've seen, in the little tub with some warm water and a toothbrush. But yeah, absolutely top product, highly recommend it, and hope you enjoyed the video. So we'll see you on the next one. Got a couple more reviews coming out because I'm waiting on, ordered some stuff, some really cool minis to paint, and got some conversions, some other things. I'm doing a commission piece which I'll be filming on the channel of an orc big mech, which is going to be cool. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.